Science is knowledge based on observation and experimentation. It's a branch of knowledge that studies natural phenomena and their law. It is different from art and technology. Science answers the question why phenomena occur, while technology answers the question how to solve it. By observing the natural world, a sense of wonder arises, a curiosity about why a phenomenon happens. Why do flash flood and global warming occur? Why do H5N1 and COVID-19 epidemic spread? It's not just about a big thing. Scientific thinking also applies to everyday occurrence around us. Therefore, the answer to the why question will produce scientific theories and doubt. Technology, on the other hand, differs from science in that it is interested in the question of how to solve a problem that arises. How to solve traffic congestion, the problem of flood, the problem of rising food price, and various other everyday problems around us. The result is a variety of technological ideas and products to solve them. Work to overcome flood problems such as building a water flow tunnel, retention ponds, and widening range, and the other job of civil engineering. Technology began earlier than science. Science, the beginning of humankind. People have had technology such as making stone axes, creating fire canoes, ships, building pyramids, and so on. All this was produced without any knowledge of physics or chemistry. Early technology stood on its own, separate from science. Now we go to the scientific method. Scientific method is a process of careful observation or experimentation carried out on a new hypothesis or theory that explains a natural phenomenon. There are 5 steps in scientific method. First, question why that around us curiosity, proposing a hypothesis, conducting an experiment or observation, and analyzing the result of the experiment. If the experimental result equals to hypothesis, then the hypothesis is accepted. If not, then the initial hypothesis is modified or rejected. If the hypothesis is accepted, it becomes a theory and law. This observation encourages scientists to propose a hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? A hypothesis is an unproven assumption or an intellectual guess. Inductive and deductive reasoning. Okay, first, induction. Islamic scientists pioneered an inductive method which became the basis for formulating scientific theories. Verse in the Quran called upon its followers to observe nature and reflect on the sign of godliness. Scientific law and theories are obtained through the inductive method. From observation and experimental result, we derive a general formulation or conclusion. The principle of the inductive method is from particular to general or universal, from part to the whole. Second, deduction. The principle of deductive method is reasoning from the general to the particular. We go through the topic science is a knowledge. When we took an object, what we see and observe with our sense is called phenomenon or appearance. The true nature of the object is called phenomenon or reality. For example, I see Kumari as a quiet person in a class. This is appearance. Last but not least, science is a body of knowledge. Science only knows the external, the appearance, and what is visible. Science only knows the phenomenon, appearance, but the things is a true nature is what we call phenomenon or reality. This cannot possibly be known. Science can only know the phenomenon or appearance of a thing, what appears to us, what we can observe. The thing as it is, the reality of the thing we cannot know.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. In this video, I will briefly explain the history of science and how our understanding of the natural world has evolved over time. Studying this history is important because it shows how knowledge processed from traditional belief to the systematic, evidence-based method what we use today. What is the history of science? The history of science examines how scientific ideas, methods, and discovery develop over time. It also shows how science is influenced by society, culture, and technology. Ancient science. Before modern scientific method existed, ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, and China laid the earliest foundations of scientific knowledge. Even though their worldview was connected to religion and mythology, they demonstrated advanced observation and practical experimentation. Mesopotamia recorded the movement of stars and the planets. The Egyptians applied geometry and engineering to build pyramids with remarkable precision. Indian scholars developed key mathematical ideas, including the concept of zero and early algebra. Meanwhile, ancient Chinese, such as the compass, paper, and traditional medicine based on repeated observation, these achievements were the early step towards systematic science. Aristotle and the geocentric universe. For almost 2,000 years, Western science was shaped by Aristotle's geocentric model. He placed Earth at the center of the universe while the sun, moon, planets, and stars move around it in perfect circular paths. Aristotle divided the universe into the sublunar realm made of earth, water, air, and fire, and the superlunar realm made of an unchanging substance called ether. His model fit well with Christian belief, especially the idea of the great change of being, the scientific revolution. A major shift occurred in the 16th century when Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model, placing the sun at the center. This challenged Aristotle's long accepted teachings. Bruno, Kepler, and especially Galileo brought the heliocentric model with mathematical reasoning of telescopic observation. Galileo's discovery revealed that the heavens were not perfect, contradicting Aristotle's claims. This marked the beginning of modern scientific thinking. Religion and science conflict. Galileo's idea created conflict with the Catholic Church, which believed the Bible supported a stationary earth. Galileo argued that Scripture teach spiritual truths, not scientific details. This debate eventually led thinkers like Cardinal Bellarmine to inquiry. Islamic contribution to science. Islamic civilization play an essential role in shaping science. Muslim scholars translate Greek works, corrected error, removed myths, and built stronger scientific models. Astronomers in Baghdad, Cairo, and Samarkand test Ptolemy's theories and produce improved work like the corrected almanacs. Their advanced helped determine Qibla, prayer times, and influenced later European science. Conclusion: the history of science shows that progress begins with questioning and verifying ideas. From ancient civilization to Aristotle, Galileo, and Islamic scholars, each civilization acknowledged that shaped modern science. This journey proves that scientific process is a shared human effort built on curiosity, evidence, and continuous discovery.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Siti Nabila binti Mazlan. Hi everyone. Okay, today let's talk about something that sounds complicated but actually is very close to our daily life. Okay, what is that? Okay, let me tell you. It's epistemology, or simple is the theory of knowledge. Okay, epistemology asks some basic question like, what is knowledge? Where does it come from? And how do we know that something is really true? I will explain what is knowledge. In simple terms, knowledge is what we know, fact, information, skill, and understanding that we gain through learning and experience. And in Islamic, knowledge is closely connected to science. What is science? Okay, let me explain. For example, when we hear thunder, we know rain is coming. Thunder itself is not rain, but it is a sign that gives us knowledge that rain is coming. Actually, the whole world is full of signs. Like, nature is like an open book. Trees, animals, stars, even human life all carry meaning. Science is basically our effort to understand and explain this meaning. Next part is two ways knowledge comes to us. According to Sainaku Al-Atas, knowledge comes in two ways. First is effort. Okay, we study, read, think, and do research is our responsibility. Second is understanding. Sometimes you study a lot but you do not really get it. Then suddenly one day it's just click that understanding is a gift from God. Right. So effort is important, but effort alone does not guarantee the understanding. Next is knowledge is about meaning. Here an important idea, meanings come from putting things in the right place. Okay, a trophy means something when it's displayed, not hiding in a box. Flower looks beautiful in a living room, not in a storeroom. A hijab has meaning when worn properly, not just placed anywhere. The same goes for knowledge. Knowledge only becomes meaning when we use it correctly, at the right time and for the right purpose. That is the meaningful of knowledge. Next, where does knowledge come from? Okay, there are four main sources of knowledge. First, I go through. Our sense is seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. This is how we experience the world. Science often starts here. I go through for the second is our reason. We use our mind to think and make conclusions. But just because something is popular or commonly done does not mean it's true or right. For the third is true information. This includes reliable aspects, scholars, and scientific research. And in Islam, the highest form of true information is the Al-Quran and authentic hadiths. The last one is intuition. This is the sudden insight of the deep thinking. Scientists like Newton did not discover law by accident. They prepare their mind first. Okay? The highest level of intuition is revelation given to the prophet. Science, wisdom, and knowing when to stop. Science is exciting. There's always something new to discover. But here the thing is, more knowledge does not always mean more wisdom. Wisdom means knowing how much is enough. It's know when knowledge is helpful and when it's become harmful. Think of wisdom like a brake without brakes, even a fast car will crash. The limit of truth. Knowledge itself is unlimited, but every knowledge has limits. A knife is useful in the kitchen, but dangerous in the wrong hand. Medicine can help, but can also harm if we take overdose. So, true knowledge is not just know things, it's know how to place knowledge in the right context. In the conclusion, for this topic is epistemology teaches us that knowledge is not about the collecting information. It's about understanding meanings, recognizing limits, and applying wisdom in our daily life. When knowledge is used properly, it brings clarity, confidence, and peace to ourselves. Without it, we live in doubt and confusion.
Today we will explore several fundamental components within the philosophy of science. We begin with the four branches of philosophy. These branches are ontology, which studies the nature of existence. Second, epistemology, which examines the sources and validity of knowledge. Third, axiology, which focuses on values and ethics. And the last one is logic, which deals with reasoning and the structure of valid argument. Together, these branches form the foundation for understanding how scientific knowledge is built and evaluated. Next, we move to three major epistemological positions in the development of scientific thought: empiricism, rationalism, and logical positivism. Empiricism emphasizes knowledge gained through sensory experience and observation. Second, rationalism, on the other hand, argues that reason and the mind are the primary sources of knowledge. Third, logical positivism combines both logic and empirical verification, insisting that only statements proven through observation or logical analysis are meaningful. Then we look at scientism, an extreme stance that elevates science as the only valid path to truth, often dismissing other forms of knowledge such as metaphysics, ethics, or religion. Another important concept is phenomenalism, which states that we can only know phenomena, what appears to our sense, while the true essence or nominal reality behind those appearances remains unknowable. Then we continue with the law of parsimony, also known as Occam's razor. This principle suggests that the simplest explanation with the fewest assumptions in is usually the best. In the context of metaphysics views, materialism argues that everything that exists is physical in nature, composed of matter or energy, and denies the existence of non-material realities. In contrast, idealism claims that reality is fundamentally shaped by the mind, suggesting that mental or conceptual structures determine how we understand the world. Lastly, we examine the theory of truth in Western philosophy, which includes three main approaches. First, the correspondence theory states that a belief is true when it matches external reality. Second, the coherence theory claims that truth is achieved when ideas fit consistently within a system of beliefs. Meanwhile, the pragmatic theory asserts that something is true if it works effectively or produces practical results. So, together, these ideas provide a comprehensive framework for understanding how knowledge is formed, justified, and interpreted within the philosophy of science.